today I was actually rebuilding a website and I got to this section. It was like the high level features, and there were 9 different boxes. It was like 3 rows of 3. And as I was building it, I was like, this used to be so challenging for me. And I thought this is a great time and a great example of something that I can show you guys because I know that I have over time using this. Now I've been using the high level builder like 4 years. I definitely have some shortcuts and some things that I can show you to make this process simpler because I know in building websites, you're going to come across this need for these features. But also I think in building this 3x3 like table, you learn so much about the builder, like how to use padding and margins and how to add color to the background and how to duplicate it in ways that like before you get to mobile, right? So all of these things, I thought, I'm not going to do a training on this, but I think it's definitely a cool thing to talk about in group coaching. And then, of course, you guys can ask all of your website building questions anyway. So I guess we just got started. So it's 2:00 now, so we'll go ahead and get started. So welcome everyone to our Friday group coaching session. This is for our resellers exclusively. So if you want to join our reseller program, you can go to myvisionagency.com to sign up. If you create a high-level free trial, you'll get a free starter plan in our program. If you're a current high-level customer, you can. It's $97 a month. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I was actually building this website, and I just created this like template here, which I'll let you guys have when we're done. But you can see like what's included in high level. It replaces 15 expensive tools with one comprehensive platform. And then I'm creating like this table that I want to showcase all of those things. So we can make all of these colors different and whatever. But the purpose of today's training is to show you how you can build this for yourself. So I'm actually just going to start from scratch. I'm going to create a sample funnel here. Go ahead and create. We're just going to create like a blank 1-page funnel so we can build this table. I'll just call it table. And make sure that I can see the meeting here in case someone needs to be promoted. I think I just kicked myself off of the share. All right. You guys see my screen? Yes? Okay, cool. All right. So let's go ahead and create a blank funnel. And I'm going to start with a wide or a full width section. That's actually what I use a majority of the time. And then you'll see here, we have this title and then we have some subtext underneath it. So I'll just go ahead and add. Let's go to elements. Let's go to headline. Oops, sorry, we need a row. So I'm just going to add 1 row. Let's add a title. We can click here to add a subtitle. And then now here, we want to add a completely new section. So if you see here, we actually have 3 rows. Okay. Now, what I think is absolutely the best practice when you're doing this is perfect this first one, go check it on mobile, and then start duplicating. Okay. But even then, I only duplicate 1 row because I want to see when I duplicate it, is the spacing right between the different sections and all of that. So let's go ahead and do that together. So I'm going to say 3 columns. And this first one here, I'm going to add a subheadline. And then you'll see here, there's actually an icon here. And then we have this text. And the first one I do, if I was copying this, let's say that it was a website that I just really loved and I want to copy the format here, I would want to create this title and I'm going to copy that first title just because I want to make sure that, what I'm creating, like I'm choosing the right size fonts and everything to make sure that I'm getting the look that I'm going for. But here I can actually go all the way down to the bottom and choose an icon. So you can see from this example, it's 2 people. So I'm just going to literally search people because I'm going to pretend I didn't just build this and I have no idea what icon that is, but it looks like people. So I just search people and then you find it. Now I do want to make this bold. So I'm going to highlight this. I can use that window that pops up there, but sometimes it's like really weird and it disappears. But you can also go down here. If you go into advanced, I'm sorry, I'm not even in that. Click on this. You can go to where it says font weight and you can choose bold. And then now you have the bold text there. So this is obviously too large. If this is the look that I'm going for, and I want to make sure that I am, like I said, building this first one correctly. And I want to make sure that it's all on one line, because if I start doing it on 2 lines, then it messes up the flow and all of the spacing. So I'm just going to go over here to change the font size, and I'm literally just using the down arrow until I see what size I want to use. Now you can also see that this is aligned to the left. So I want to click in here and then make sure that I change that alignment to the left here. All right. So now the next thing, we have some bullet points down here. And there is a little tip, but this is actually what made me start thinking about, I should just show you guys how to do this. Because when you choose the bullet points, and I'm going to just show you an example. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to paste that in there. And then obviously it copied that bullet point. So let me do backspace. Now, if I click here and I go to the next line, this is cool, right? I can paste this in here. Let's get rid of this. Actually, let's just go up here and then paste in the next one. I'm going to copy this. Now, the problem with this is that if I want to justify this in the center, which I will want to when I'm in the mobile view, and I do this, see how wonky that looks? So I actually, when I'm using the bullet list, I only do it one at a time, or I just replicate like my own bullet list using the icons in a normal text field, okay? So I'm actually going to remove this. Oops, that's not what I want. Let's just delete this. Let's get a new bullet list here. And then now I want to copy this. Now, what I love about using this as well is I can change this icon. If I go down here, let's make this a check. And then you'll see I can change this icon color to anything that I want to at that point, right? And then I can keep the text the same color, but I can change that there. So obviously that can be a challenge sometimes. All right. So let me change this back because I don't really want that. We'll just choose blue. All right. Now I'm not going to duplicate, or I'm not going to click enter and then add the next one, but I'm going to duplicate this. So before I duplicate, and always ask yourself, before I duplicate this, am I really happy with this look? Okay. I'm going to make this text smaller because I feel like it's too large. If my title up here is 20, then I definitely want this to be smaller. So let's say 18. And I'm going to now duplicate. But I feel like now that I've duplicated, I see way too much space in between these two sections. So what I want to do is click inside the box, and I want to go over to the padding. Now the padding is the space inside of the element. The margin is the space around the element, okay? And you could see that here in the diagram, that inside of the element, like we have our content here, and then we have the padding around it. And then this line that you see where it's the orange line, if you imagine this little dash line is the orange line, and then you have your space around here. Okay, so that's actually like the logic behind this diagram. So what I want to do is I want to remove that space, and I want to say maybe 10 looks good. And I can adjust the spacing over here, but for now, I think that looks good. But I do want some more spacing at the bottom of this title, because if we look here, there is definitely a good amount of space there. So I'm just going to go to the margin and let's add 10. All right, looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and duplicate, and then we can duplicate again. Now I do, like I said, I want to fill out this first one with the actual content because I want to make sure that all of the spacing and everything still looks good, because we might do this title here and then the next one has 5 words instead of 3 words. And obviously that spacing would be a little bit different. So I'm doing Control-Shift and then V to paste that content in there. All right, so now you can see from the outside here that we do have a background and we have this shadow behind that. So I'm going to change this background to a different color so that you can see the difference. Let's say purple. I know you guys are shocked that I would choose purple. Actually, that's the same color as like the column header. So let's make it like this gray color. All right, so now what I'm going to do, since I want the background of this to be white, I'm going to go ahead and change that here. I'm going to click in the purple area because that's the background that I want to be white. And I'm going to click over here for background color, and then I'm going to make this white. But you can see from this example, though, there's a lot of space around the header here and then the different bullet points. So I want to add that space, and I want to make sure that I'm clicked in the purple area. And if you're not quite sure if you're in the right area, just go over here, hover over, click on the little gearbox, and then it will make sure that you're in the correct area. So the background is already white, but we want to adjust the padding here. So I'm going to say 20, and let's do 20 here, and we could do 20 here, and let's do 20. All right. Do you guys have any questions right now?
The bullet points, you didn't use the high-level bullet point element, right? You just use subheading.
No, I did use the bullet point. I just only used the bullet point for one line.
Oh, okay.
See, this is bullet list. This is bullet list. This is bullet list.
Okay, thanks.
Can you tell me real quick again, the padding and the difference between the padding and what was the other thing?
The margin.
The margin. I always get confused with those.
Yeah.
That again?
Yeah. So if you look at the diagram here, if we imagine like this diagram is this element, you can see like the content would be in this area. Then you have the padding. So the padding is this area around the content. Okay. And then the margin is like this space between this and this next. So let me duplicate this and see how now there's 0 space between these two sections. And if I wanted to add space, if I go to the margin, now I'm adding space. But if I added space here to the padding, it just adds more space inside of it instead of outside of it.
Okay, gotcha.
Makes sense? All right, I'm going to delete that. Now that we have adjusted that space there, now we want to add the shadow. So let's scroll or go to advanced. Here we see the shadow, and automatically it puts the shadow offset, and that's not the look that we're going for in this example. So I'm just going to make this 0. Let's make this 0. And we can spread out the blurred area if we want to, like a more dramatic look. We can even change like how much it spreads here. And then we could even change the color if we really wanted to, but that's pretty good. We can change the border here, and I actually don't want that dark color, so I'm just going to make this transparent, even though you can still see the outline. But the purpose of this is because I wanted to make the edges rounded off. So you can see when I added that 10 radius, it rounded off the edges, which is also what is in our example here. So now this looks pretty good. I would think I'm ready to duplicate, but before you ever duplicate this, do yourselves a favor and go to the mobile view and adjust this first. Okay, so we can see here, I definitely want more space between this line here and that white box. So I'm going to click here into this area, and I want to adjust the margin. So I'm going to add 10. Because remember, the margin is outside of the element, and then the padding would be inside the element. So I'm just going to say, add the margin there, and this looks pretty good, so I'll just keep that as it is. But if I wanted to align this in the center, I could come up here and then align it that way. And what's cool about that is you'll see here, when I change the text alignment, this is only for the mobile view. So if I go back to the desktop view, you'll see that it's not centered, okay? It's still aligned to the left. And if I click in the box and I go over here, you'll see that it's aligned to the left, and then you'll see the little desktop view. So you can actually do a lot of customizations for desktop and mobile without having to duplicate elements and hide different things and all of that. So now let's go ahead and let's say we're happy with this. We want to duplicate. The spacing looks okay, so let's go ahead and duplicate again. But remember, we only needed 3 sections, so I'm just going to delete these here. Just make sure that you're deleting the purple. All right, now this obviously is too large now, and it's like actually 2 lines. So what I want to do is just change that font size so that it's on 1 line. All right, so we'll say 18 is going to be the font size. And of course, I could have deleted those and redid it, but I think that looks good. Now let's go over to the mobile view. But now you can see that these are actually on top of each other. So that's why we want to definitely duplicate and make sure that we're checking the mobile view as we are going along. Now I'm going to delete this because I want to go back here and I want to adjust the spacing. So I'm going to go down here now and let's just add 20, right? So now you can see we've added spacing to the bottom, and that obviously made it to where it's not on top of each other. But if we change that here, we need to make sure to do that here, because then when we add that third one, it's going to be on top of this one here. Let's go back to the mobile view and let's duplicate. All right, looks good. And it looks good here. So now that we've gotten that all set exactly how we want it, let's go ahead and duplicate this entire section. All right, looks pretty good, except I'm really picky and I don't like that there's more space between the rows than there are between these sections here. Okay, so what we want to do is click in the blue area. Like you can see, if we go to this section, there's like a padding of 20, and then there's a padding of 20 on this side too. So let's actually click here, and instead of 20, let's say 10, and then we'll click here at the top, and then instead of 15, actually click in here. All right, we have 15. Let's change this to 10. We'll change all of these to 10. All right, now if we duplicate this again, first let's check the mobile view. All right, because now you can see we're checking the mobile view and there's a lot of space down here. So let's see. We want to click in the blue area. Okay. And then let's check this. All right, so there is a lot of space there at the bottom. Let's change this to 0. And the reason I'm changing that to 0 is because I want that 10 to be the space around it. Okay. But it was 20 on the actual blue area, the column or the row. So if I take that to 0, now that eliminates that extra space. So then it looks seamless here on the mobile view. Do you guys have any questions about that so far? No? Okay. So now guess what we do? All we have to do is duplicate. And now look how beautiful that looks. And now we need to just go through this section, and we're just going to copy and paste all of this content. And then now we have our complete section. Now, here's the cool thing too. If you want to save this, let's say that you spend time building this out and you want to make sure that, that it looks good and you want to be able to use this on multiple websites. What's really cool is you can save this. Now, we have an extra option now that used to not exist that is so amazing. Okay. Now, if you save as a template, what that means is you can save this, and then you can bring this section like I have over here. You can just bring that section in any website, and then you can edit it, and it will not edit any other website that you've used this section on. Okay. That's just a section template, just like a website template. However, we do have global sections. And what global sections mean is at the funnel level, if I want to use this section and I had multiple pages that I wanted to add this section to, and I wanted to make sure that when I come back to that, if I need to make any updates, I can just update this section and it will update all the other sections that are on my other pages in that funnel. Now we have the option for universal sections, which means that if I save this as a universal section, now I can use this on any funnel, on any page, and when I come back to edit it, it will update automatically every page and every funnel within my sub-account. You guys, that is just the coolest thing. And I do want to share with you, though, because I did build this out. I'm going to share this link. And if you guys would like to use this inside of any of your funnels, you can import this into your sub account and you can use that and save you a lot of time. All right. So what do you guys think about that?
That's cool. I feel a little nerdy getting excited about universal sections too, but that's okay. I'm in good company, I think. When you shared the link, was it to the full funnel?
The whole funnel is just that one page with that one section on.
So you can't share a section, you share the funnel.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So you can create the share link from the funnel, but just like I shared with you guys, if you import that, it's only one section, right? So if you import that template into your sub account, you can, at that point, you can customize it or even not customize it. You can save that yourself, and that would save it into your own account. So then you would have that same template that you can make universal or global or whatever.
That's cool. I actually have a need for the universal. I have a need to copy across multiple sub accounts section. So yeah, that's great. This is the perfect lesson for today for me for this weekend. Thanks.
Yay, awesome. It really comes in handy most of the time for like headers and footers, because a lot of times we don't want to, even though it's cool that we can update each individual funnel, most of us have multiple funnels. So if we go and maybe we update our whatever, some social media link in our footer or whatever like that, and we would have to go to each funnel still and update that. But now we can create that universal footer and then put that on all of our funnels and websites and all of that. And then we don't have to worry about that. We just go into the template, update it, and then it's good on all the funnels. That is so cool. Do you guys have questions about this or anything else? Feel free to open up the discussion. Also, Tony, I was thinking about you today because I was checking out the Google VO3 and I'm so considering signing up for it, even though it's enormously expensive right now. And I just wondered, has anyone tested out the Google VO3?
I wouldn't do it, not yet.
That's what I was thinking, but it's like half price for 3 months.
You know what the thing is that is not usable yet. Not for what we do. There's still a lot of messed up glitchy stuff. And for what they're charging, I would use the free stuff. Like you can. I'm not telling you not to.
Oh, I'm glad that you told me that. I want to know. That's why.
Yeah, because I was doing like a lot of research on it and it's just not there yet. It's good, but it's not really applicable. I didn't find it that it's from my use case is not applicable yet.
Yeah.
If I want a specific thing generated you're better off still doing it yourself. Now, depending on the amount of work you want to put into it, then yeah, but if I'm paying $200+ for something, I want it done. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I felt like that with ChatGPT. I upgraded to the Pro, the one that's $199 a month. And it was cool that it did more things. Like I was using the operator, but I was so not impressed. And then I started using Manus and I was like, whoa, $199. I have no problem with that. And I still, to this day, I feel like having Manus is like having a $200 a month VA who is a genius and who is up late at night when I have a brainstorming idea. I'm just watching TV.
Absolutely.
And now Manus has an agent, and Manus also has the integration with Google VO. That's really what made me, the VO3, start thinking about it, because you can write your prompts and all of that in Manus, and then you can say, now create the video, and then it creates it using the Google VO3.
No, I think it's awesome. It just depends on what your standards are. If you're like a perfectionist and you want everything to be perfect, then I would not recommend it. But if you want to put something out there, the only reason I would use it is because I know I'm going to use it in the future and I'd rather learn how to use it now. So it's easier for me to use it when I'm going to put it out there. So that's my mindset when I go to use new tech, because not everything out there is going to be for you, but I would like to get a little head start on a product that I know I'm going to use in the future. That is one I'm going to use in the future. They could be terrible today and tomorrow they're just like magnificent. That's just the way AI is working right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of these AI tools, that when it's all the hype, those are usually the tools though that people start freaking out, that do the most progression, because they have all of this content now. It's like they have all of these people who are like flocking to the platform. And then now it's like they're basically training the AI to be like better and better. And then also teaching that it's like Manus that used to be like invite only, which I do have a link if you guys want to try Manus. Does anybody here want to try Manus and you haven't been able to get access?
You know what? On that same note, what we were talking about, when you keep testing it, you are though still paying $200. I don't want to pay $200 to be a test subject. I want it to work. I want it to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. And I had no plans. I thought, okay, I got to check out this Manus thing. It looks cool or whatever. But whatever. Like, really, how cool is it? Is it like ChatGPT where it looks cool, but the quality of content is not? Yes, I'm certainly not trashing ChatGPT. It's awesome.
Right.
But it's a lot of times I feel like it's super glitchy. It like hallucinates things sometimes. Can't always trust the information. But when I go to Manus, I feel like, oh my gosh, it's so much more powerful. And I feel like the content, while we always need to double check, the content is still like really on point.
No, yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah. I have a link, you guys. I don't know if you guys are trying to access. I know that before it used to be like invitation only. And they gave me this link now that if you sign up, you get, I think it's 1,500 points or credits or something that you get. But what's cool about Manus is like they give you credits every day. When you log in, you get 300 extra credits just by logging in. And then every time it like completes a task, it will ask you if you want to leave a review it. And then you can review whatever, and then it will give you another 100 credits. So I think that's really cool that they do that. But yeah, it can be really expensive. I swear, you guys, right now I have 60,000 credits and I use this thing. I am burning it up. It's like personal things, and like we're remodeling our house, and I was like, my husband's having some health issues. And so I've been looking up like different doctors and different, just everything, like contractors. I have literally been burning it up, and I still have 60,000 credits. I did want to talk about Google, though, if you guys are thinking about this too.
Just have a quick question, Bridget, about ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT, and lately I have the Pro, the $20 one, and it keeps popping up and telling me that I need to upgrade. Anyone else getting that? Is it keep trying to prompt me to the expensive one? I don't know why I keep doing that when I have the $20 one.
I haven't seen that. I only have the $20.
Yeah, it keeps popping up. It keeps saying that I'm a power user or something.
You know what it is? All right, different models, and you're inside ChatGPT. There's like a writing model, right?
Yeah.
So you only get certain limit of uses depending on what model. So if you have the expensive model checked and that's the only one you're using, yeah, it'll tell you need to upgrade that you've used. Like you could only talk to it for so long. How you push the button and you could talk to it.
Yeah.
You
Usually,
Yeah, like the basic plan only allows you to do that for so long. Eventually it'll tell you need to upgrade.
I don't use that. It's telling me that as I type in, and I'm using the 4.0, but maybe I need to just not notch down to the 3. You think? Maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
It sounds like that's probably what it is.
Okay. All right. Did you guys know that ChatGPT has an academy? They opened it. It's an academy. It's been open, but
Yeah, it's
That's cool.
It's free too.
Yeah.
I wanted to share this with you guys because this is something I was checking out too. Like we were talking about Google, and with Google, this is the Google, the VO3, whatever it is. Anyway, this is the plan that Tony and I were talking about that's so expensive right now. It's 3 months. And I'm not an affiliate of this, you guys. I get no benefits whatsoever by telling you this, except the fact I'm just curious. I want to know what you guys think, if you have any experience with it. But what intrigues me, and here was my logic, is that Google is something that I use every day, like Google Workspace. That's where my email is. That's where all of my cloud storage, like everything that I do is in Google. And so my logic was, okay, this is Google's like most powerful plan right now. And I'm also interested in not just the VO3, but also what do all these other things do? And if we're all using Google and they have all of these extra tools that's supposed to make our lives so much easier, I'm just curious, if you went all out with all the tools, would it save you $250 a month worth of time? Like, I know Maria, you have been talking about the Notebook LM. I haven't even checked that out yet. And then all the Gemini inside of Google, like the Gmail and the Docs and all of those things. And also I'm hearing a lot of good things about Project Mariner. Also, I already pay for YouTube Premium and 30 terabytes of storage. So these are all the things I'm thinking, I'm already using this.
Yeah, I think that's worth it. I think it is worth it. That Notebook LM is sick.
Yeah.
Google that great.
Google is just, there's so much stuff in the back end with Google that it's crazy what you
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I really we all get where and I do practice what I preach. So it's I don't really go down rabbit holes unless I see a use case for them. Or in this case, I like to test things out to save you guys the trouble of testing it out and then just show you here's what I discovered and see what you guys think. But I think like having all of those features and being like testing it out, I don't really know if it has the value. It's like the VO3. It's expensive and it's cool and everybody's talking about it, but is it really useful? Can we really create a video and it save us a dramatic amount of time? Or are we be like burning up those credits over and over again, trying to get 1 8-second video to be good?
listen, I think in our line of work, it's important to stay in the cutting edge. And if you're not spending some time, I'm not saying all of your time, but if you're not spending some time looking at what is being produced by these larger companies, you'll get left behind. There's just so much happening at such a fast rate that even when you find something like Notebook LM, dude, that's old. You're hearing about it today and it's old.
Is it?
It's been around like they have other stuff that's attached to even 11 Labs. 11 Labs has this whole other project going on. I took like a 2-hour ebook that I had AI to make it, and I put it in this new project, and it turned the whole thing into an audiobook for free.
Love it.
And there's just so much out there that you really should spend some time. And that's the only way I've learned what I've learned. I break everything.
You know, that's why I included that in the 4-hour workday strategy. And I say this all the time. I teach a 4-hour workday strategy, but that doesn't mean as business owners, we're only working 4 hours a day. But the thing is, we don't want to be working more than 8 hours. 8 hours should be max because that's a normal job. And we need to be thinking about this is 1/3 of our day. We don't want to be building businesses and working 20-hour days for the rest of our lives because then you'll look up like we had servers go down yesterday and somebody posted in a group like, whoa, everything went down and I just realized I had a wife. It's so true. We don't want to do that. But that other 4 hours, that's what you need to do. You're exactly right, Tony. You need to be researching these new things that you think might be a good solution for you. Not everything is going to be good. And we don't want to get shiny ball syndrome where we're like, oh, there's a new video editor and I don't need a video editor right now, but I'm going to go check it out and spend a whole day binge watching YouTube videos and figuring out this new software when I don't even need that. That's not what we want to do. But we definitely want to use that 4 hours as a part of that. We want to be researching like the new things. Is an AI tool, did they come up with something that is actually going to save us time? Or, like I always say, contacting tech support because it will inevitably need to be done, or responding to customer questions or messages that you get on Facebook, all of those things. That should be all included in your day so that you're not working 10, 12, 20-hour days. So has anybody else found a tool or anything that a new tool that they have discovered is like amazing? I'd love to hear.
Can I say one thing about Notebook LM? Yes, Tony.
Yeah.
Sometimes what I do, this is weird. I don't know. I have been watching stuff about AI, YouTube videos, and some are lengthy and they give you so much details that my brain can't even absorb it, and I'm not going to take notes. So what I do is I go to the transcript area, I take the transcript and I drop it in Notebook LM, and then I have the podcast people read it to me or break it down and tell it to break it down, section it, tell me what's going on here, because I need it simple like I'm a 5th grader. And then it breaks it down. And then it talks to me and I don't have to hear all that. So that's what I do.
Yeah, I love it. Oftentimes I will tell Manus like, hey, you're going to have to slow down. I'm not a computer. I need you to tell me step by step what to do and then ask me if I'm done before continuing to the next step. I say that a lot. I should just add that to my knowledge files.
I actually tell them all, I said, talk to me like I'm a senior, which I am, a senior and a 5th grader at the same time, and break.
I like how you have a staff of podcast people. I just want the podcast people to explain it.
Yes.
They're AI bots too. So you're building out your support staff. It's great.
Yeah, I tell them just because I can't. I say, I don't have time for this. Just tell it to me. So the way to
I know. And that's a perfect example of like how we can utilize AI. Like we don't have to spend all day binge watching YouTube videos if we don't want to. There was and I won't say which one, but there was a very intriguing high-level workshop that they had done just here recently. And I didn't have time to watch the whole 5-day series. So I put the playlist at Manus and I said, "Hey, can you give me like a summary and a guide to replicate this strategy?" Because I wanted to I wanted the notes. I wanted to see what was the whole thing. So Manus watched all the videos and then generated like a guide based on the series. I can't really share that because that would be like super
That-
sketchy. It's not,
yeah,
but I
that is
used my
awesome.
own. I'm sorry, Tony. Go ahead.
That is incredible. How much time I waste watching videos trying to learn something. What?
You don't mean my videos though, right?
No, of course not. Come on. That's I wouldn't be where I'm at.
And then you have your own podcast, people, Anthony. You could take that also and make a podcast out of that too. You know, it's
Oh,
because it's original. It's their material, but it breaks it down, and then you can actually put it up there.
it's
Yeah.
crazy that you say that because I came across this tool that it creates the animation. You give it the voice and then it syncs the animation to the voice. The only problem I had is, you know how it gives you the file with two voices? I have to go and split them both up and then you have to edit. And that just takes too much time. I'm not gonna do this.
That's what been my experience sometimes. It's like I see all these, oh, you could create this video, and I do so many videos. I'm always looking for a really good tool to streamline that process. But I just feel like when I test them out, it still just takes more time. It's just easier. And it could also be just because I have over 1,500 videos on my YouTube channel, and that's not even all of the videos I've created and edited and all of that. But I just feel like a lot of the times it's easier just for me to create the video. And now using Zoom with the avatar, it's like you can do screen share videos without being on camera. But what I love about it is when you're like creating an ad, like I showed yesterday, when you're creating like an ad and you are screen sharing a lot, you want to have something engaging in there. So when you're talking and your avatar is moving around, just that little bit of action makes it more engaging for someone who's watching instead of just a blank screen with a voice that maybe they can't even hear because they're like at the grocery store waiting in line, scrolling through the timeline.
That's why I have mine on because I actually don't know what it would look like. I want to test it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw Maria, you did a video the other day on your YouTube channel where you used that, where you shared not your avatar, but it was like you on the screen with the background was your screen. Is that what you used Zoom to do that?
No, I used iMovie.
Oh,
I do that in iMovie. My background is awful. I really can't move around, so I figured out a way. It took me a long time to find the right video to teach me this, how to take my video and remove the background and put another video while in iMovie. So I can move, I can put a picture of moving. So yeah, that's what that was in the background. It was iMovie right on my
Oh.
computer.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
yeah. I wonder, I don't know if it's just me that can do this because I have Zoom events, but when you guys click screen share, do you see in the top right-hand corner? I can even take a screenshot here and show you what I'm looking at. Let me do that here.
And yeah, in Zoom, you can also remove your whole back. You can also remove it and just be in the corner like you showed us a few weeks
Yeah.
ago. You showed us. Oh, yeah, you can put yourself on the side, front, anywhere you want by using those little.
Yeah, did you test that out? Can you see that option on your accounts? Because
Yeah.
I feel like I hadn't seen it before I upgraded to Zoom events, but this is what I'm looking at. So when you go to share your screen over here, you see those options. Does everyone
Yes.
have that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. So that's all you have to do. You just normally share your screen just like you normally would in a Zoom meeting. Just make sure your avatar's on, or if you want to be on camera, and then just choose this option here instead of that. And then there's a part, let me click on here. There's a part here I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can drag it over. There's a part here that you want to hide the video panel. Because if you don't, when you screen share and you're the avatar or just that person, if you don't do hide video panel, it will show like your avatar or your person in the screen, but then it will also like have a space on the side and it will show that video like on the side there. And that's definitely not the result you want. But so you want to screen share with that, and then you want to use the hide video panel if that's what you guys want to try to do.
I have a question. Is that how people record? I'm still trying to figure out, but you're on one side of the screen and then you have someone on the other side of the screen. Is that how you're saying? If you're
No, that's like the video that I did yesterday where I was like, I had my avatar and it was like in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So it was like basically I was doing a video like I normally would, except instead of normally when you do Zoom screen share, then you have your videos in the top right-hand corner, and then you have your screen. If you choose that option, you're actually in the screen, just basically the result that you did,
yeah.
except you only have to use Zoom to do it. So that might save you a lot of time if you have that option.
Okay. Okay, but how do you get these little avatars? I haven't figured that out yet.
All you have to do is if you have Zoom downloaded to your computer, you can see if you look in, and let me do a screenshot so I can show you. If you have it downloaded to your computer, there should be an option when you click on video and it will say avatar, and then you just click show.
Okay.
Hang on. Okay. Let me show you this. All right.
Pretty soon we're all going to need a Elon Musk implants in our head to keep up with all this.
Oh, really?
No, I'm moving to the woods and becoming a caveman.
For real?
You're not sticking up in me.
Yeah, no. I can understand. Can you imagine if the world went like that where everybody had one? You'd be like a really dumb person compared to everyone else. So I feel like I'm cool being dumb as long as I'm out in the woods somewhere. I'm like you, Tony, for sure. So here's the option. You click on the little arrow there where your video is, and then you'll see you can choose your avatar and create it. You can choose one that's pre-made or create your own. And then all you have to do is check this box to show your avatar and then uncheck it for it to be your camera.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Speaking on that note, since we're talking about technology.
Yeah.
Apple has worked on the technology to where you don't need the chip to control the stuff. They got this, I don't know what it is. It's like glasses you put on and you can control everything with just thinking about it.
Yeah, that's really crazy.
That is nuts. And they've been doing it for a while. So they've moved ahead. A lot of people talk because Apple hasn't jumped into the AI game like people expected them to. You really shouldn't sleep on them because their technology, what they're doing with hardware is like out of this world. It's crazy.
But Anthony, isn't their new iPhone doesn't have AI in it? The new iPhone?
It does have, I don't know, like a lot of their stuff has been getting like mixed reviews. They're not as powerful as they used to be because of AI, but in the medical field, it seems like they're leaning hard on like the medical aspect of things, just with what they're doing with people that are quadriplegic and people that are blind. Like their whole AI features are mostly geared to helping like blind people and helping. It's mostly in the medical side of it. So for us, it's not a big deal, and they're getting like a lot of backlash from it. But you really shouldn't sleep on that company because the things that they're doing, they're revolutionizing a lot of stuff, but just in a different box that we are used to them being in.
I think that if you don't see the good in it, it's so easy to see the evil in it. But it's like we would never be accepting of things that are evil unless it was wrapped up in a bow. Like, how could you be against Neuralink when it is helping quadriplegics walk again? You know what I'm saying? And it makes you think, like, how could I be against that? That is like amazing. But then it's not really that anyone's afraid of. It's what happened after that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the part that freaks everyone out.
It's when you hand it over to humans.
Yeah, what happens when it becomes like an elective thing? It's like it's no longer quadriplegics that are using it. It's just those of us who want to get up in the game. We want to be a
Yeah.
little smarter, a little wittier. And then once it's implanted, how easy is that to control?
I would go
That's the $1,000,000 question, man.
Yeah.
in a minute. A Neuralink, I would take it in a minute. I would take one of those robots in a minute.
I'll take a robot.
All I want is they actually have this. It's very expensive because before the robots, there's an arm called JACO arm, and it's a specialized arm. It's 50 grand that they attach to your wheelchair, and it's like an arm, and it's so precise that it can open a mailbox with a key. It can open a refrigerator, get a bottle of water. It can do a lot of things, and it's just a plain old arm that moves with different fingers on it.
See, Maria, you're a perfect example of why it's, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's so amazing. How could we ever like think, oh my gosh, like the opportunities that would provide for you that you've never had is
I want something as simple as my dream with a robot is simple as just opening the refrigerator and getting me something to drink. That's all. And it seems like it's so easy for everybody, but for people who need it, it's very necessary.
It could do so much more than that. Like it could pick you up and carry you around. You could say, hey, take me downtown and I want to, like, could push the wheelchair. It could it could protect you. If you want to go out alone and you can't protect yourself, it could protect you too.
That's one of those, it'll protect you. That's one of those hairy situations. I'll tell you what, man, I have a robot attack me. I'll blowtorch it. I'm very productive.
That's so funny. I am ready to buy a robot because I don't even care how much it's going to cost because I will 10x that investment. I guarantee it.
My wife won't let me.
Really?
Yeah, man. She's like totally against it. She's like, if you get a robot, you better get another house. The robot will build me a shed in the back.
Yes. The robot will build itself a shed in the back to live in.
No, she's not having it though. I'll have a shop with a robot, but I
Yeah.
can't have it in my house. She lay down. She's the boss. What am I going to say?
That's okay. It's like dogs. Some people have their dogs outside. Some people have them inside.
It is. She wasn't a dog person, and I talked her into that. So we'll see.
Yeah. But the dog stays inside, but the robot is outside.
You guys seen some of the pictures of Kim Kardashian with the robot, with the Elon Musk robot he gave her? Oh, you don't want to see that. Just Google it, guys. I'm not even going there. What I saw, my eyes were hurt from looking at what I saw.
We have
They
entered.
bought a robot, a bed, and Kim Kardashian. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, good grief. We want to keep it G-rated here.
Yes, that's why I said Google.
We have entered that era where you can't believe what you hear or see, man. We are there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. Hey guys, I entered the names into the wheel. I want to make sure that we spin the wheel before we go today. We only have a few minutes left. Man, time flies when I'm chatting with you guys. I swear it's my most fun hour of the day. I do want to call all of your names, and if I do not call your name, make sure that you let me know. For those of you who are new, if you are in our weekly group coaching session, if you actually join us, your name gets entered onto the wheel, and I'm going to spin the wheel in just a second, and whoever's name is picked gets a free private consultation with me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call your name, make sure that I call your name. Tony, Frankie, Keith, Manny, Maria, Martina, Rick, and Sandy. Did I miss anyone? Going once, twice. Okay, let's spin the wheel.
Wow.
Oh, that was
I was about to say, yay, Frankie!
Maybe
It
Frankie
was
should get 15 minutes too.
It was my hair.
wow. That was really close. I was almost gonna say you must have deserved that one, Keith.
All right. So, Anthony, I think our avatars should star in some sort of apocalypse movie. You've got the background there already. I'll come work in your lab and we'll plot some sort of AI heist or something.
Oh, we'll start fighting some of those robots. Get some blowtorch.
I love it. What do you guys think of the avatars? Obviously, you're using them, so you must love them. I think it's so fun.
Here, they're fun in this setting, but I don't think I can use them in my videos. If I want people to trust me with their $1 million decisions, I'm sure I can be a 14-year-old avatar. I tried the age settings on the avatar and the facial hair, and there's no salt and pepper hairstyle. I think
You know
I'll
what,
have to use my real face.
Yeah, what you can do though is you can say, I'm Keith's avatar. Keith's busy right now helping clients, so I decided to create this video for you. I think that there's a way to incorporate the AI, and I don't feel like it has to be like super,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like shady. You know what I'm saying? And in reality, it's better to create the video than not create the video. And also, I feel like in meetings like this, there are a lot of people who are camera shy and maybe would love to join the meeting, but they just don't want to be on camera. Maybe they just don't want to expose everything behind them. That's why we have that blur function. But I feel like it opens up an opportunity that previously did not exist. And I love that it's like you can create like the result of your video, even sharing your avatar, like the one I did yesterday. I feel like that is so fast and easy to do, but it looks like something that you probably took a long time to create, unless, oh, that's Zoom.
Yeah, this setting, it's fantastic and all the thing. I agree with what you just said, but we have regulators and insurance and all sorts of stuff. So I have to be careful with advice for real estate and that sort of thing. By the way, Rick, is that your real background or a virtual background behind you? The sailboat kind of stuff.
My real background.
All right. I have PTSD because my father forced me to go on week-long out at sea sailing adventures, and let's just say the height to stand below deck was about 6 inches shorter than my height. So whenever I see something like that, I flash back to getting seasick in a very small space, but looks good for you.
Thanks. Yeah. I got my boats are behind me in the water back there.
Rick, can I come visit you on vacation?
I was thinking the same thing. We need to visit Rick and hang out.
I think we need to have a My Vision agency like trip, and then we all meet at his house. Yeah.
Yes. Host us a retreat, Rick.
Yeah.
Panama City Beach.
Yeah. You just
Rick
sealed
won't
the
be
deal.
home. He'll go tell us to come and he won't be home.
But he'll leave us a note. I'm on the boat, you guys. Fine.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions for me or anything else that you'd like to discuss before we go today for the weekend? No? All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. Next week, we're going to dive into creating and testing the AI voice and the AI conversation AI. Okay. So there's so many things. HighLevel is flying through the development of these AI products. And I think I just did a training like maybe a month or so ago. And there's now 5 more features that weren't even there at that time. Tony, you have a question before we go?
Yeah, I want to know if I could drop the phone number to the AI that I just built. So I'll do it next Monday if I could do it so people could test it.
Yeah.
Or I'll put it in your group inside
Yeah.
of the level group. I'll put
Yeah,
it
you
in.
can do that.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Something else that you can do is see at the bottom here where we have our name tags. If you wanted to, you could. If you go see over on the right-hand side, if you see your name, there's 3 dots and you can change your name.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you click on your name, there's 3 dots on your name. Do you guys see that? I know Martina does this all the time. She changes her name that shows on
Yeah,
this.
I think you'll be able to add that number into the pronouns area, and it'll give you 3 lines of text, Tony.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm in a senior moment, man, 'cause I don't know what you guys are talking about.
that's okay. We'll show you on Monday.
We'll show you.
All
Yeah.
right. Because
We'll
I'm
show
like
you on-
totally lost right now.
That's okay. We'll show you on Monday, but I just was thinking, wow, that would be a really great way of joining a meeting and then having your phone number there. So it's like any meeting that you're in, if people want to call you and I had to do it on camera, test your voice AI, I think that's a great way to utilize that little space down there under your name tag. Just something that I thought of just then. Keith, you have a question for
See
me?
that line come up with all 3?
Yeah, at the end of your name. I see it.
Okay, cool.
Is there an avatar that we could create and match up like this? I guess it would be harder to have the mouth move, but with the AI voice within HighLevel to send someone to a page, and just like the video you shot with your avatar with a screen share, could we do that with an AI?
No, because it's a phone. So you're
Okay.
calling through a phone. If you were
You can call through the web too, I think. I've seen demonstrations with that, and then or a chat or something. I'm just curious if that's because it seems like it's possible at this point, but
I did hear that they're creating some type of a feature like on the web chat that you could talk to it, but you couldn't do like video. You would have to, because it's a live conversation. So unless you're like using a Zoom meeting, like something like this, you wouldn't be able to have that live conversation with an avatar.
yeah, I have my camera off now, and oh no, I guess is it on? No, my camera is off, so it's using the voice to move the facial features. So I'm wondering if the AI voice could do that. Anyway, thought I'd throw it in there, but sounds like it's
Yeah,
don't-
one's video and one is voice though. So that's why you have to have, this is a conferencing software. So you would have to have some type of conferencing software there to be able to do that.
No, I understand. It's just the leap isn't that far because my avatar's lips are moving based on the audio. So if the audio from the voice AI could be connected to an avatar, it doesn't seem like a big leap. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw it out there. Not a big deal.
Yeah, what I'm saying is you'd have to be able to view it somehow.
Yeah, on a web page.
Yes. So that would have to be like a conferencing like software
Yeah.
that is there to be able, so it would be like integrating two different things. One is voice and then one is video, and you would have to be able to integrate like the AI with the voice. So that would be a whole, I'm not saying it's not impossible, or maybe there's software that does that, but
Fair
for
enough.
able to do that, that would probably be years in the making, maybe.
By the way, don't tell us if you switch out put an AI in place for the videos that you shoot. Let us know when you leave, when you're at Rick's house and we're watching AI Bridget.
I will definitely let you know, because when I figure out a way to do that, I will be doing a training to show you guys how to do it too, for sure. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an awesome weekend, and I will see you all again on Monday. Bye.